What's up, dorks? Season 3, Episode 4 of The Boys has finally dropped on Amazon Prime. We're still loving the show so far, and there's still crazy diabolical scenes, so let's just get right into it. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to join that next-gen console giveaway. Straight out of the gate, we get that retro solid gold show intro with MM just reminiscing on how much he hates Soulja Boy. Thought it was a great intro to the episode.
MM's like interesting to me because up until this point, I kind of want to say he was like the character without flaw, the heart and soul, if you will. I mean, Billy the Butcher even goes on to explain that he's the one who keeps the team together. With all this focus on MM, I can't help but think that time's kind of limited for our boy.
Or we haven't really seen him deal with the death of his family too much until this season, especially now that we get a lot more mention of Soulja Boy, and we didn't really know why MM had gotten into the boys' business in the first place, and we get a little bit of that backstory with Butcher and how they realized, yes, he was strong, of course, but he was a natural-born leader. He was able to keep the team together. He's really been kind of the heart and soul of the group. After Butcher tells Hughey to go fuck himself, MM's the one that goes, pats him on the back and says, don't worry about it. But the star of the show, Homelander, a bastard, he immediately confronts Hughey and Starlight about the public relationship that they have. It's okay, we're going to get through this. This is just what we have to do. But then Homelander's bitch ass just walks through the door. And I loved how the tension was built in that scene.
What I find most interesting about Homelander at this point is how he really is becoming the universally hated figure. Because I feel like, especially with Hughey now, Hughey was kind of pressing him a little bit. I mean, Hughey's kind of up in his grill a little bit. I think Homelander has made it a point, especially in that interaction, to emasculate Hughey. Hughey's character in regards to Homelander is really cool to me because it's not even about A-Train anymore. It hasn't been for quite some time. At this point, he's developing the same sort of hate that Butcher has. Maybe not to the same depth, because I don't think that's possible. And Homelander, now more than ever, is really relishing in the fact that nobody can fuck with him. And what I like about Homelander is he's much more calculating now. He's much more intelligent now. Only for Edgar to shit all over his life. Nobody shits on Homelander the way Edgar does. Edgar cooked this fucking dude alive. Homelander looked like a fucking clown dog. Absolute fucking bozo. He comes in and he tries to verbally checkmate Edgar every single time. And every single time, Edgar's like, you ain't shit, dog. You never been anything. When he said he was just bad product, Homelander was, bro, in the soul of Homelander was about to start crying, dog.
I think that was my favorite part of Homelander this episode is we didn't actually see him do anything physically scary. He didn't shoot his laser beams this episode. It was just how calculating he was and how he actually is measuring each step that he takes now. His points are too high. He knows that he's basically invincible in every way. He knows the only person really in his way is Edgar, which I think is super interesting how he gets Congresswoman Newman to turn on Edgar. We all know Homelander's not going to protect Nadia, and I even like that Homelander was like, you want to try to blow my head up? I think it'll be fun. Let's go. Let's see what happens. So Homelander's not even afraid. And I like that the writers didn't even like dance around the idea that, well, can Nadia kill Homelander? They immediately acknowledge it in the show. And I think that's what this show does really well. There's no wasted time.
And they make sure of doing a good job. Homelander is infallible. Frenchie and Kimiko are some of the most interesting people in the show for me right now. They don't seem as down for the cause as they initially were. The mission to me has always been to kill Homelander. And I understand why, right? Because Nina had spoke to Frenchie in prior episodes saying that whoever's in charge, you'll heal like a good dog. Basically saying, you're an instrument to people. Kimiko, I think, feels that directly when Butcher really only addresses her directly when it's time to kill someone. I mean, he quite literally uses her like a tool.
Kimiko killing people with the 7 themed dildos, and it's not even seen as like a shock factor thing to Kimiko anymore.
This feeling of instrumentation that they both have is something I think that weighs heavily on them. What happens when you realize that there is no end to the soups? Why continue to fight a war, one that isn't your own, that it doesn't seem like they have any personal stake left in?
Similar to how the boys are kind of faltering on what they believe in, you also have the 7 who seem to be having their own kind of revolt going through with A-Train and Supersonic and Starlight kind of move forward with her rebellion of, well, we can kill Homelander, so Supersonic, I'm going to take you. Well, Supersonic takes it upon himself to go talk to A-Train after the kerfuffle with A-Train and the Deep in the hallway, which I thought was great.
I officially hate the Deep again. Before I thought he was comedic relief, but now I'm out on the Deep. To me, Black Noir seems like he has a responsibility and a job, so to speak, and he answers to Edgar and Edgar only, and I think his loyalty and the chain of command for him is to Edgar specifically, not Vought. I do find it very strange that Homelander has not once tried to punk Black Noir.
Finally, we have the boys infiltrate Russia. We see that Butcher has started taking V-24 before every mission as like a safety precaution. Like if shit goes sideways, instead of us just trying to figure shit out, I'm just going to go full suit mode. You get that moment where it seems like all hope is lost. Butcher and Hughey kind of nod at each other like, all right, let's just get it going. Butcher rolls around the corner, a cunts, and just starts laser visioning the fuck out of everybody. But what we didn't think was going to happen, Huey's bitch ass has taken the V-24 and now has the ability to teleport, and it looks like he's riding that high so heavy.
Oh man, I mean, I think one of the most powerful scenes of the show probably was when Huey walks in on Billy actually using it. And they have a conversation about it. Butcher explains to Huey, this is a punishment. This is not something you want. This is not something to feel big and strong about. Huey's whole struggle throughout this show is like, I'm a pussy, and I really want not to be a pussy.
We've just seen him be emasculated the past 3 episodes and how he thought he achieved all this greatness, that everything was great. And now basically his girlfriend got stolen from him and he's one-on-one versus Homelander. What's Huey going to do? He's got a broken
Yeah,
arm. Oh, Homelander signs his cast like a bastard. He would get a bitch-made power like teleporting.
everybody was disappointed in Huey. Nobody even addressed Butcher taking the 24-hour compound B.
I love that scene, and I do love that everybody's like, Huey, you should have never gone down that path. Even Kimiko looks at him and is like, no, you're better than that. And nobody questions Butcher, but I also think that everyone in the boys understands Butcher enough to know that he would have never done that to himself if it wasn't absolutely necessary. And I do love that Butcher doesn't see it as, oh yeah, I got fucking powers now. He does see it as more of a curse. Like, the fact that I have to do this makes me a fucking monster.
I think one of the most important scenes is when Soldier Boy is released. When Soldier Boy steps out, one, the look on Mother's Milk's face, just fantastic. Soldier Boy's got like a fucking major upgrade, it seems like. Now he's doing a power that is almost similar. That is almost similar to the first Soup Terrorist, except when it hit Kimiko, Kimiko did not instantly heal. Is he taking powers with this? If so, can he snatch any power? If he hits Homelander with that, is Homelander just a guy now?
The ending of this episode has so many open book questions of, is Soldier Boy the weapon? Like, it seems like, yeah, there is no weapon. He is a weapon. Obviously, Russia considers the Seven this like very anti-Russia kind of movement. So having
Yeah.
Soldier Boy and potentially creating their own version of a soup terrorist through him in a way that he can maybe take powers. What's the best way to stop Homelander if you can't actually fight him? Is take his power away. And now he's just a guy. Homelander seems unbeatable, but now they're introducing somebody that can take Homelander's power away. I would give anything to see Homelander versus Butcher, but Butcher has the powers now, and Homelander's just a fucking guy.
I don't even want Butcher to have the powers. I don't even want Butcher to have powers. I just want them to squabble. I just want a straight up man to man fight. I just want Homelander to just feel his ass get whooped one time. Just one time. I'd love for Butcher to just get the better of Homelander physically on the temporary compound B.
Starlight is now very alone in the Seven. She thought that she had Supersonic and A-Train now. Now she feels even more alone because Supersonic's dead and A-Train betrayed her and told Homelander. So now Homelander knows, even threatens Starlight at the very end of the episode. And he even threatens this is going to happen to Hughey if you try this again.
But Supersonic is a fucking idiot. First and foremost, I don't know why you wouldn't consult Starlight before bringing A-Train into all of these things. So Starlight could tell you A-Train is the slimiest fucking dude of all time.
I don't think Supersonic has any idea of their past, what Starlight and A-Train have gone through, that Hughey has like saved his life.
And then A-Train went and snitched.
I mean, they don't even show you A-Train doing that. They know that you're going to see that payoff in the next episode. Or if A-Train even told him that, Homelander hears everything.
It's left a bit open-ended for sure.
I think this episode perfectly follows up the first 3 episodes of season 3. It's kept a steady pace, and I think this is possibly going to end up being the best season of The Boys so far. I'm going to rank this one pretty high at about 9.5 out of 10. I just can't wait to see all the plot points of this episode pay off.
This episode is a 10 out of 10. Now, I agree with what you said about the 9.5. I'm granting an additional half point because of the fucking hamster. Makes it a perfect episode.
Let us know what you guys thought of this episode. Are you loving The Boys so far? Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed the discussion, and make sure you subscribe to join that 1,000 subscriber giveaway and turn alerts on so you never miss any more of our reviews. Very soon we're going to have Jurassic World Dominion, and we're going to be covering The Boys all the way through, so we can't wait to talk about those with you. And until the next time, guys, peace.